So let's talk about the news that nobody wants to talk about.
The news that Joseph is talking about.
Let's talk about Elijhah Badger and the report that EK is set to visit Arizona and Florida. I reported a couple weeks back that he did take a visit to Washington. That did happen. Now he is set to visit the Arizona Wildcats and Florida Gators. How you feel about that, man?
Okay.
How you feel about that? How you feel about that?
Listen.
Let's get into it.
Right now, I'm living in a world where it's simply not a possibility.
He's living in a world.
Now I'm in a world
where it's not a possibility.
Elijhah Badger cannot go to your rival school. One man must step up to bring him back.
I love it. I love it. Oh, he's coming home. Home.
Activate the eye. Listen.
Place where I belong.
I'm not denying the news. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying there's no chance he goes to Arizona. But right now, the mental space I'm operating in, no chance. And if it does happen.
The mental space that I'm operating in.
If it does happen, I will probably fall to my knees. Like I can't lie. It would sting. It would hurt. Because losing him already did hurt. Way more than Jaden Rashada. Losing Elijhah Badger hurt way more. But if what we were considering the best player on the team, we're going to do a little draft later. Elijhah Badger would have been the number one player in that draft for me that we're going to do later. It would suck. It would suck. I'm sorry. It would suck. But I can't put myself in the space where that is even going to happen. I just can't.
Look, this is what I'm going to say. I talked about my marriage with the Los Angeles Chargers yesterday, and I'm going to have to do it again because I'm used to pain when it comes to my sports teams. LaDainian Tomlinson was a San Diego Charger, and then he was a New York Jet. Phillip Rivers was a San Diego Charger, and then he was a Indianapolis Colt. Keenan Allen was a San Diego and Los Angeles Charger, and he is now a Chicago Bear. Sean Merriman was a San Diego Charger, and he was a Buffalo Bill. Legends, Eric Weddle, right? Like, sometimes this is what you get. You get players going to new teams, rival teams, whatever. Elijhah Badger hasn't played in the last 2 Territorial Cup games. He didn't play last season. Or I take that back. He didn't play in last year's Territorial Cup game because of an injury. In the year before, he got ejected at the very end of that Territorial Cup game because he hated the Arizona Wildcats that much. Right? Now, if Elijhah Badger opts to go to Tucson and be an Arizona Wildcat, then that's his prerogative. However, Elijhah Badger, when Jalen Conyers left, he went to Texas Tech. He gets to play the Arizona State Sun Devils, right? BJ Green, when he left, went to Colorado. He's Colorado Buffalo. Gets to play the Arizona State Sun Devils, in theory, in conference play, right? They're not scheduled to play this year. Mm-hmm. Jordan Clark, leaving Arizona State, goes to Notre Dame. When you opt to leave, there is one place you can't go. There's one place off limits. And if you choose to go to that one place, Tucson, to be an Arizona Wildcat, that's fine. But you will never, ever be remembered by Arizona State fans. Ever. They will take you off their favorite player list. They will burn your jerseys. They will do whatever, right? And again, you could be going to get a bag. That's totally fine. But going to Arizona means that you were never an Arizona State Sun Devil. That's what that means. And that's fine. If you want to live with that and you don't care, by all means, make that jump. And I'm not saying he's going to choose Arizona over Washington, over Florida, over anywhere else. I'm just saying, if that decision is made, one of the consequences is it's going to be like you never went here. Fair?
I mean, yeah, you lose all goodwill. Even if you're not a great player. Like, I'm sure with Kongaika, everybody in Tucson's done with him because he's here now.
Yeah.
That's just the way that it is. And it's more than fair to say, Elijhah Badger, you were great here, and then you stabbed us in the back, and now you're dead to us. And what a way to ruin all the goodwill that you've built with the community if he goes and he does that. And obviously that's not what he cares about if he goes and he does that. So I don't know how hard that would hit him, but not great. Not great. But you know what is great? This news you've been teasing.
Oh, you want to get to the news?
I
We
mean,
can get to the news.
And not necessarily saying, "Oh my God, the news is so great," but it's been great how you've been rolling it out.
I know. I've been teasing it for a while.
I just don't want to talk about Elijhah Badger.
I know you don't, but like,
I legitimately thought you were transitioning into an ad.
I did too.
So I was like, all right, here we go.
I'd be like, that's fast.
I
That's
can.
fast.
I
We're
mean,
done.
I can.
I want to keep talking about EK. I'm sorry.
Oh,
we'll
fine.
get to the AD news, and I know you
Fine.
don't want to, but it's something that warrants conversation. It's like sharing in the chat. Totri speaks truth. My heart hurts over this. I become Donald. If he goes to U of A, he is dead to me.
Yep.
It sucks. It sucks. But we do have Steven in the chat. I disagree. If he never went here, he'd still be welcome to Tempe. If he transfers, he won't be welcome ever again. Yeah. Isn't that what I said? He can go anywhere else other than Arizona, right?
I don't know if that's what Steven's saying.
I disagree. If he never went here, he'd still be welcome in Tempe. If he transfers, he won't be welcome ever again. Can you rephrase that, Steven? Because I don't understand.
If he never
what you're
went
saying.
here, like he never was here in the first place, and he just transferred to Arizona, because then I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care as much. It would just be Arizona getting a good player.
Kobe in the chat saying Kangaika went here for playing time. That's not necessarily the truth. Kangaika, part of the reason that he left Arizona is because of part of the defensive coaching staff. He wasn't their biggest fan in the world.
Yeah.
And sharing the chat, and Badger has a lot more history here than Kangaika. At U of A, Badger has been here and stayed through a lot. No, absolutely. He's been here, stayed through a lot. But again, he can go get his bag. He can go have success. He just can't do it for the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, I like he said. You said it would be like he never went here. I think it would be all the goodwill that he brought would be gone. It would just be gone, and that is unfortunate. It would be like,
I also think he wants to be a number one option.
yeah, that's fair, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Why are we? What are we all? We're all just looking at everybody
Just
around here.
staring at Damon over here. We're talking about Elijhah Badger, and Damon has hovered around here.
It's like my bat signal.
Yeah, it
It's
is your
his
bat
bat
signal.
signal.
We're talking about EK potentially being an Arizona Wildcat. Yeah, it's gross. It makes me want to throw up
Yeah,
a
it's
little
not
bit.
great.
It's like, what's this like? This is like if you fed a small child, like let's say a 2-year-old. 2-year-olds have upset tummies, right? From time to time.
Yeah,
That's
I'd say.
valid. I feel like this is feeding a lactose intolerant toddler a big bowl of milk. Just a big bowl of milk.
Cook. Keep going. What do you mean by that?
Tummy's a rumbling. It's growling. You're like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Like, baby's just hungry, needs to be fed again. Maybe it's nap time. Nope. Baby shits his pants and throws up everywhere. That's what this would be like if Elijhah Badger went to Arizona. Okay? That's what it'd be like. You just, you feel me? You picking up what I'm putting down here?
Buddy, I wish I didn't. I wish I had no clue what you were talking about, but the unfortunate thing is I kind of do.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't
I tried
make
to
sense, but
paint
it
a real
does.
good picture for you.
We've been painting a lot of pictures with number 2 in the last couple of weeks.
Well, I said throw up too.
Yeah, right.
Baby
right.
vomit.
That
Yeah.
makes
My
things so
bad.
much better.
My bad. Totally misread the situation. That's on me. Hand up. But Steven says any chance he comes back, 1%.
I would say not
no.
likely.
If he wanted to be here, he wouldn't have entered the portal.